Hi everybody, this is John and this is our Ving, and Rich will be here shortly. He's taking care of some things. We usually have some pyrotechnics that we use for some of these things, and we've had a little, well, let's put it this way, they don't call it a Kindle for nothing. Alright? So why do we care about social media? The first thing is that, remember this, in the world, 1 in 4 people have a smartphone. Tablets and smartphones are cannibalizing PC sales. So you have to remember that people are portable. And the other thing is that in the millennials, and millennials is termed as 1980 to 1990 babies, most of them do not like advertising. They don't prefer advertising. They prefer user-generated comments where people, referrals, word of mouth. It's electronic word of mouth. So they go on a site to learn about a lawnmower, a certain retail product. They actually go to learn what the comments are, or a restaurant. Think of Urban Spoon and all those things. Well, that's the same way you can be utilizing, people might make referrals into your company. Okay, so they don't like advertising in the millennial section. The other thing is that keep in mind on Facebook, 1.6 billion, 90% of internet visits are Facebook oriented. Twitter is second in there, and then think about if your target market is female, Pinterest is on there, and now Instagram's coming up. The bottom line is that there is an audience on social media, and there are certainly networks of communities of interest where you can start to get involved or lead discussion. LinkedIn is another great one. Think of the professional networks that you have. Again, social media can actually listen. Now, let's say you're not allowed to corporately be on Twitter, but the fact of the matter is that you can start yourself a Twitter account and just listen. Learn how to work the hashtags. Listen. That's what you want to be doing so you can learn more. And you say, well, I can listen by driving all over the world and listening to some of our customers. Certainly nothing takes the place of face-to-face interactions, however, and building relationships. However, listening via Twitter, you can sit and do that anytime, anywhere, sit around at home in your underwear if you want. And, but the fact is that you can listen. And remember, social media is two-way conversation. You have to make sure that you're asking folks, whatever your community of interest might be, you're asking folks to talk about their situation. You have a plan on, the one thing you don't want to do is post a question or start a group on LinkedIn per se, and then post a question and then come back to it 6 weeks later. You want to make sure that you don't post and run. If you're asking a question on Twitter, if you're asking a question on LinkedIn, make sure you're there within a day or two to answer the questions. Otherwise, they want to be interactive. That's what social media is about. It's the social side. And you can use your Everlast. Remember the Everlast principle we talked about. Education eats, validation, emotion, recognition, lasting. If you're wondering about what to post on social media, think of that. Validation, emotional comments, recognition, things that will last, aggregating, posting an article from a professional magazine. That might be helpful. Certainly you can't eat while you're on social media. You get crumbs all over your keyboard. Okay, I'm not really sure where Rich is at this point. Rich? I don't know. I'm hoping that his fingers are all still there again. So the pyrotechnics didn't work out. So thanks for watching. One thing to remember is when you're using something like this is that make sure you dress appropriately for your medium. This is a work time, and people want to see you how you typically are presented at work. So make sure you do your hair. That's why I have a shirt and tie on. There's so many jokes about people sitting around in their underwear and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you dress appropriately if you would use a medium-like thing. So anyways, let me go find Rich. Click down through the rest of the Ving. Rich? Hey, Rich. Rich, are you there? Rich, do we need to call a fire truck?